on physical health and sports. Now, you may not be an athlete, and hopefully this will still help you, or maybe you are Michael Phelps, and maybe we can help you too. Either way, we're going to have 3 awesome guests with 3 awesome tips on how to improve your physical health with sports. Millionaires are made. If you haven't seen our show before, this is the show where we want to build and help grow the entire world so you can be a millionaire in all 6 aspects of health. This episode is on physical health, but we also do mental health, intellectual health, social health, spiritual health, and financial health. Millionaires Are Made is the show built on the fundamental belief that every person you meet knows something that you don't, and there is something to be learned from everyone. So we found 3 awesome guests that are going to hopefully teach you something that you didn't know before. And in the spirit of authenticity, I never get to meet our guests until about 15 minutes before. I sometimes have no idea who they are. I've never met them, and I don't know what their tip or advice is, because it removes any bias or persuasion. So be ready for some potential conflict, or maybe we all build upon each other and give you super tips. We will find out. Audience, we love you. Please, please comment, ask questions. The episodes only get better the more that you ask and the more that you learn what you want to hear. So please ask questions. If you ever have a need guest for your podcast, check out all of our guests. They love being on air and sharing their knowledge with everyone. So you feel free to contact them. You can comment, DM, however you want. We'll get that information to you. Today we have 2 awesome sponsors. Our first sponsor his name's Tony Lynch. He goes through a lot of things. If you have not experienced Tony Lynch in his life, this man gives it all back to the community, gives it all back to everyone. He specializes in dealing with grief. If you are having a tough time right now, you're going through something a little more challenging, you may want to contact him or go watch his podcast, Grief, Let's Talk About It by Tony Lynch, available on virtually all podcast platforms. A lot of good tips in there, can help you push through if you lost a loved one, or about to go through it if someone's not looking so well. Anything with grief, go contact Tony Lynch. His link just popped up below. And on a little bit of a different note, our second sponsor is a company called InstaFarm, and they sell at-home grow mechanisms like this one, where you literally just grab a tray, put it in here, no feeding. It automatically waters and senses when it needs water and grows awesome, healthy microgreens right in your kitchen with no mess and 0 work. It's pretty amazing. Oh, that's so awesome. So if you like what we do and you love our show, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Find us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want. Follow us so we can keep sharing information from one part of the world to the rest of the world and grow as a society. If you are looking for coaching, we are offering free coaching as well. We do just like this show, free stuff, giving back to people, helping teach and grow. Let us know if you want to be a sponsor or a guest, and we need more topics. We're running out of topics. We're blowing through them all. So if there's anything you want to learn about or anything you don't know about, shoot us a DM, shoot us a comment on any of our posts, and we will make that a topic. We will go out and find 3 guests, and we will share some knowledge with you. Without further ado, today is physical health sports. And as someone who has played sports my entire life, many different sports, I think I got a letter for varsity in, I think, 5, maybe 6 different sports in high school. I've played semi-pro sports, football and soccer. I'm currently in the Virgin Islands playing soccer, club soccer. Hopefully we're going to make the Caribbean CONCACAF Cup here soon, which would be really, really amazing. My tip for you is you don't have to go start off running a marathon. If you're looking to improve your physical health and you're curious about some sort of sports, I'm going to tell you this. Go join a kickball team. This is so simple. You don't have to be athletic. You don't have to be fit. You don't have to do anything to go join a kickball team. here's some benefits. First off, you're going to get out and get some activity, right? You may not run, you may not catch, but you're going to walk, you're going to swing, you're going to do some get off the couch stuff. But the second thing is you're going to meet so many awesome people that are also interested in living a more fit and athletic, healthy lifestyle that you'll be able to connect with them. Maybe you'll join another sport with them. Maybe you'll play more kickball more nights a week and fall in love. Whatever it is, if you're looking to improve your physical health with sports, join a kickball team, get off the couch, and meet other people that are looking to be more fit. And that's all I've got for you. We're going to bring out our first guest now. Her name is Libby. Libby, how are you? Just
Hi,
kidding.
Austin.
Who are you?
I'm Libby Supan. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm a therapist. I'm a certified intuitive eating counselor, and I help people recover from eating disorders, disordered eating, and any kind of food or body issue that you might have a problem with.
Do you eat microgreens?
Do I eat microgreens? Not really.
Oh, man. Do you drink a lot of water?
I do drink a lot of water, but probably not as much as you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got those out of the way. Those were side quests. I got a serious question for you, Libby. If I wanted to improve my physical health with sports, what simple tip would you give me?
Yes. So here's what I would do. Go back to what you did as a kid. Go back to what you truly used to enjoy doing. Go back to doing that. Do you want me to elaborate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what happens is in the society we live in, our fat phobia, our diet culture, kind of this umbrella we live underneath, we're always told to like do the fitness program, do the gym, do the class, do this type of movement, go running, go hiking, like go biking, whatever it is. It's oftentimes very like structured or traditional type of sport or activity. And what happens is we can get into these like patterns and habits of doing these exercises that we don't actually truly enjoy, but we don't even let ourselves know that we're not enjoying it until at some point it's like, I cannot stand going to the gym. I do not want to take another class. My feet are killing me because of these runs I'm going on. And then maybe you injure yourself to where you can't do those things anymore. So it's really finding out like what works for you. What do you actually like doing? What does your body feel good doing?
That is awesome. And I do want to make a note that we did not share tips beforehand. Go back to your child in kickball. We're completely from different schools of thought. So I love that you did that, Libby. Thank you so much. Libby, where on your journey did you learn this tip? What made you want to go back to childhood joy?
Yeah, good question. So I'm a person that had a really bad eating disorder for about 20 years and why I do what I do. And in that part of my struggle and disorder was compulsive over exercise. So I literally like pounded the pavement. I abused my body. It was all for punishment and trying to manipulate it and shape and weight loss and all of that. So I've actually had like several surgeries. I really can't run any longer. So I was forced to go back to what I love doing. And thankfully I was, because I actually do things now that I really enjoy and it feels so good, not just physically, but truly brings me like emotional joy.
So what are you doing now?
Yeah. So right now I'm trying to find a dance studio. I just recently like relocated to a different area in California. So I'm trying to find a dance studio because that's my thing.
What kind of dance?
What kind of dance? Well, I did like back in the day, I did like jazz, tap, ballet, hip hop, cheerleading, pole dancing. Today it would be like, my go-to would be jazz or hip hop types of classes.
Okay.
And pole dancing as well. But
perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just really damaged my body and had to go back to what I enjoyed. And I'm still limited with, I definitely can't do what I used to with dance and stuff like that. I mean, I'm definitely older, but yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Libby. We are going to move on to our next guest. Very insightful. Go back to what you enjoyed as a child to improve your physical health. Thanks, Libby. Next up, we're going to have Sam come out. Sam, how you doing?
I'm great, Austin. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a great day. Tell me, who are you?
So, Sam Westfall, owner of Archery in Motion, moving target platform for 3D archery or firearms targets. Um, what was the question? What was the tip for
we're just going to stop right there because that's the only question I've asked so far is
Fair
who
enough.
are you? But I do want to know, you said virtual archery in motion?
Physical.
Okay, all physical.
Yep.
Cool. So it's all archery.
Exactly. Or firearms. You take your pick.
Okay. Do you do dodgeball archery?
I do not. So whether it's archery tag or dodgeball, never played it. I focus more towards competitive archery or bow hunting now. So
cool. Okay. Where are you located?
Colorado.
Oh, sweet. All right. Where at in Colorado, since I'm familiar with that state?
Colorado Springs.
Cool. All right. So you do a lot of bow hunting and competitive archery.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. If I wanted to improve my physical health with sports, what piece of advice would you give me?
So again, 35 years as a hunter, competitive shooter, I'm going to throw out jump into archery. You're using your entire body to work out, both from an upper body perspective, but as well as a core lower body, especially when you get into 3D archery. You're typically going to archery ranges where, think like a golf course. You've got 20 targets that are all scattered along a distance, and you're taking your bow, you're going for a walk, you're going for a hike, you're going to shoot at the target, you're going to go pull your arrow, you're going to move on to the next target. So it really does give you an opportunity to walk, hike, shoot, and have a lot of fun and great camaraderie along the way.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, I guess let's talk about your background. How did you get into this? What happened on your life journey that taught you this?
So that time as a hunter, I spent a lot of time up in the woods, occasionally lost in the woods, knowing that you need to keep that mental health up, knowing that you need to keep physical health up in order to be a hunter. So jumping through, kind of building that, and how do I keep the repetition, the mindset, and the strength throughout the course of the year? Well, the only way that I can do that is constantly go to the archery range throughout the year. So whether it's weekends, whether it's afternoons, evenings on nice days, Colorado, it's a beautiful day. Today's 40s, a little cold to go, but tomorrow's going to be in the 50s. I can take an hour. I can go to the range and go walk and shoot for a little bit.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. We will move on to our next guest here. Hey, Krista, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. Can you tell me who you are?
My name is Krista Ford, and I am a professional athlete, and I have been for the last 40 years in the sport of powerlifting, weightlifting.
Very
so
cool.
I'm one of the strongest women in the world. Yeah.
One of the strongest women in the world.
That is who I am. And I am.
That's awesome. All right. Well, let me ask you this, Krista. If I want to improve my physical health with sports, I think you might have a lot of advice here, but what tiny piece of advice do you give me?
You know what? I would give this advice because I've been in physical fitness all my life, in the gym, cardio, you name all that stuff, walking on the beach, running, doing hopping, skipping, jumping. I would say if you're wanting to get into anything physical, you need to find something that you like to do first. So whether that be walking or being outside a lot or doing something cardio or anything that is, you need to find what you like to do in you. Like if it's something fun. And then I would go with that. That's my first advice. I wouldn't suggest anybody get into a sport if you're not interested in that sport at all. I would say start out slow and figure out what your niche is. What do you want to do? What makes you feel good? What do you like to do? Do you like to do things more with people, a team of you? Like you were talking about dodgeball, kickball. If you like to do things, activities like that, I would say go with that first and figure out what you want to do and then go.
Awesome. Yeah, very cool. That's a big tip. All right. So what on your life journey led you to this? Did you absolutely love powerlifting?
I loved any sports. As a child, we were raised back then. You had so many activities in school. We played kickball, dodgeball, softball, hide and go seek. We did it all in school as a child. So I was always active, always loving that team stuff. I always loved doing things like that. So this started with me since I've been small, like real small, like little 5-year-old small. Just love running, skipping, hopping, jumping, playing, being outside, playing with other people. So that's what really started this whole journey of me being an athlete the way I am now. So it's always been innately in me from day one. I was not one to sit in the house and read a book and all that stuff. That didn't interest me. What interests me was anything I could do physically, active wise.
What was the moment? When did you realize that powerlifting was where you wanted to go versus any other athletic route?
Well, I went through a couple of sports before I came to powerlifting. I was a competitive bodybuilder at one point in my life. And then I went to powerlifting. And then I went to bobsled. I just happened to be the first Black female to ever bobsled. So I'm out there where you're at. I was out there in Park City, Utah, in that west, being on a bobsled track, going down some cold ice with a sled. So
did you go to
all
the
of
Olympics?
my sports, everything that has led my powerlifting has been from different sports that I've participated in on the U.S. team. So
on the U.S. team. Okay, so so you were the first. You said first Black woman bobsledder.
Absolutely, in history of the sport. I'm a pioneer in that sport.
So what took you from powerlifting to bobsledding?
I was recruited because at that time they needed stronger women because Swiss, Great Britain, Germany, everybody, all these other women teams in the world were killing the U.S. team. They didn't have the strength in the back of the sled that they needed. The girls were a lot bigger over there. So they recruited me from my strength for powerlifting to try out for the bobsled team to see if I'd be the one in the back to push everybody or to push the two, just us. Just two. It's just two women for women for bobsled. It's 4 man and 2 man. It's only 2 women for bobsled. But that's how I got recruited for my strength.
I wonder if you know. That's so funny. I have a good friend that he was on the Olympic bobsled team for the men's. So, did I just log out?
What was his name?
His name was Steve Garnett.
I don't know a Steve Garnett, but I know a Garrett Hines, who was here in Georgia, that was one of the bobsledders at that time.
Yeah, Steve.
So I did it way back. Yeah, I did it back in the day. So I started out on the team in 1995. So I don't know if that guy was around.
He might have been a little more recent, but I'm going to have to connect you guys. It's not that often you meet a Olympic bobsledder. I love it.
Yeah. So
awesome, Krista. Well, that's an awesome story. We're going to move on and bring our other guests out and do some discussion. What's up, Sam and Libby?
We're back.
All right. Well, let's start with Libby. Can you real quickly refresh what your tip is?
Yes, go back to what you liked doing as a kid.
And Sam, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, there's a huge point in that, right? As a kid, you developed muscles, you built strength, even just crawling around and running, roughhousing through the neighborhood, through the yard, through the house. I think that's a great tip to help bring people just back to getting up off the couch.
I like it. Krista, what are your thoughts?
So you need to find something you like to do, like really seriously, physically that you like to do, whether it be outside, inside, whatever. If you like to be around people, find something that innately resonates with you to do physically and exercise wise and start there. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah. And I mean, physical health, definitely. I agree. I mean, I think all of us have hit on this. It has to be enjoyable. Like the whole go out and run 3 miles a day and track it on your Fitbit. I don't think that works for a whole lot of people.
It does not.
But I mean, the cool thing, like Libby said, your childhood games. I mean, tag is now a professional sport, and I believe it's in the Olympics for 2026, which is
amazing.
Fucking cool.
Can I join?
I don't. I mean, if you watch these tag games, man, these guys are like monkey climb. I don't even know. It's like, and they time. Yeah, awesome. They timed, like you both start next to each other or maybe opposite sides. I don't remember, but it's like a crazy obstacle course. So one person's just running, and then they time how fast to tag them. It's super interesting. I would love a kickball Olympic team. Big fan of kickball lately. But awesome. Yeah. That's a great tip. Hey, Sam, can you refresh what your tip is?
Sure. So for something that's different, for something that's whole body exercise, jump into archery and kind of build from there.
Archery. Okay. So I have done a little bit of archery. Cool. All right. Krista, what are your thoughts on his tip?
So I agree with that. Of course, what I do is powerlifting. I'm in the gym all the time. I'm lifting weights. All women and men are in there the same, all ages and things of that nature. So I would say, yes, definitely. That would be one for me too. I'm on him as far as that is concerned. Join a gym, you know, and then there's so much stuff to do in a gym, but the whole core of most of us, if you're strong, you go a lot further in life. You really do. I mean, just in general, just being a strong female, male, it doesn't matter, teenager or whatever. But if your strength lies physically, you're stronger, then your mental's going to be strong and your spiritual's going to be strong. So you're going to have a nice balance with your life once you start doing these things, especially exercise. It's very important for all of us human beings walking on this earth. We need to keep this right, for real. You know,
I like that you just touched with, I like that you just touched with being strong and healthy also affects your spiritual health and mental health. I mean, it's a lot easier to be happy if you're, you know, you're fit, you're eating healthy, and your mind's working right, versus if you're living an unhealthy lifestyle, eating Taco Bell every day. I don't know many Taco Bell daily patrons that are have great mental health, you know. And so it is fun how you see everything connect to each other. But I'm glad you pointed that out, Krista. Libby, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, archery is like bow and arrow hunting, right?
Can be. It's also competitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it sounds awesome and rad. I guess it's not even a complaint, but I guess my hesitation would be, where would one like me even start?
That's a great question. So the easiest place is to find a archery range, indoor or outdoor, that's near you. Most of those will have coaches where you can jump in, get rental gear, get advice from a coach on how to start and how to build from there. I started 13 years ago into archery. Didn't really have a good coach, didn't really have a decent range, but I just bought a bow and said, I'm going to go figure it out. Here we are 13 years later. I bow hunt, I shoot competitively, shoot 3D animals. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's a good workout, and it's good for mental health for me. So
it's awesome.
So similar, so if you're looking to have some childhood fun, Libby, they do also have archery dodgeball places popping up all around the world.
And archery tag.
An archery tag, apparently, where you get a bow and arrow, but the bow or the arrow is like a big dodgeball at the end. So it's a foam ball. So you just shoot each other. You get nailed in the head with a big dodgeball. It's pretty fun. So if you're not into the super tough stuff like Sam is, you can go around with your friends and just shoot them with a big fluff ball.
That sounds fun.
I would totally want to try that. I would just need to know where to even look. So yeah, interesting.
In Cali, I guarantee
California's got plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure you can Google it, but I mean, it goes back your childhood days, just like Libby said. You know, everyone did bows and arrows, or at least pretend bows and arrows back when they were a kid, running around chasing each other. Krista, do you real quickly want to refresh what your tip was for us?
So I just said you need to find something that innately fits with you, physically, that you would like to do, and that it will balance out your whole life. Because I just know this for a fact. All of us as humans, if you start physically feeling better, you know, then you're going to have more energy to do anything you want to do in life. You're going to be very intentional in making sure that physically you keep yourself right. So you're eating better. I didn't say diet. You're eating better. You're getting your exercise in. You're more aware of what's going on in your life. So any kind of physical activity, I would advise, that's going to help you 100% with every part of your life physically. So if you feel good physically, you're going to be able to work more. You're going to be able to do what you need to do. You're going to tend to your family more. You're going to tend to your friends better. You're going to have and then you're going to be able to really just give that back to yourself. So I think physical out of everything is very important besides spiritual for me. I'm just saying, I think you need to start there, because that's just going to make everything flow so much easier in your life. It really will. Yeah, physically. If you need to lose weight, gain muscle, gain strength, whatever the case may be, you're going to be at the end of this game in a much, much better place in life. You really will be.
I love it. Sam, what are your thoughts on her tip?
Spot on all the way around. Just
Okay.
getting out, doing something, and whether it's going to the gym and building muscle, whether it's eating healthier, all of those pieces come together to help make you a more functional human. And that's kind of the key part of it.
Yeah. Well-rounded. You're very well-rounded. Your whole sense. You're whole more. Right. I agree. Just tidbit. Yeah.
Libby, what are your thoughts?
Totally agree. I mean, it's so very similar to what mine is. And it's kind of the same, like maybe long-term goal, right? To do what you enjoy doing. So whether that's going back to doing what you did as a kid that you enjoyed, or figuring it out now, doing something brand new. So yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, sports have always been the number one way to do physical fitness. Like I run and stuff, but that is just to make my sports better, because sports are the most fun. But I mean, other than physical health, just like Krista, she touched on a little bit, your mental health, even your social health, maybe not for Sam if he's by himself with his bow, but, life, for me, like without sports, I don't even know how I'd live life. Like that's literally, I got soccer and kickball tonight. Like I'm going to play, I've got more competitive soccer, and then I've got a nice social kickball. It's a great way to meet people, a great way to keep your mental health, spiritual health in check. So,
So Austin,
yeah,
jump in there real quick. So on the archery side, at the indoor, outdoor ranges, at the competitions, I am typically with somewhere between 50 to 100 plus other people. So we do get that social interaction, that camaraderie. Now to the other side of that, to your point, I am a solo hunter. So when I go up in the woods, I am all by my lonesome. I'm chasing critters.
Which
there's both sides of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's still spiritual health, being one with nature and whatnot. Let me ask you this. What's the biggest thing you've got with a bow?
Elk.
Did it take just one arrow?
One arrow.
Wow. And you have to get a tag for that, right?
Correct. Yep.
Do you have to apply for it, or do you just get one every year?
No, I in Colorado you have to apply. So I do a draw for deer, elk, antelope, bear, and pronghorn every year.
Have you ever got a bear even without a bow?
No, got one with a bow, one with a rifle years and years ago.
Cool. Wow. Didn't see that coming in this.
Can I slide in on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because our archery, and of course it's it's an Olympic sport as well. It's been around for a very long time. But I would say this: sports teach you discipline, structure, builds character. It builds your team awareness, that you're in a team, and your partnership with your teammates. So I feel like sports build so much of the person's character, and then they can use that in life. You know what I mean? To be able to get along with people, to go in with a team effort, that you're a team doing something. If you're in a team sport, and even if you're individual in an individual sport, it just teaches you so much discipline and structure for your whole life. And I think mentally and physically and spiritually, that is very important. That's why kids, I believe they need to get in sports early on, because it teaches them a good way to go in life. It's just learning
good habits,
good habits, and how to play nicely with other, have good sportsmanlike conduct. And I think it just teaches you so much good stuff. And then it also gives you such a goal for yourself to be the best that you can be, and give it everything you have. So 100% of you is focused to going in. And as a child, you get that like a Tiger Woods. You get them early on like that, and you're going to get a Tiger Woods later on, because he's got that discipline in his mindset. And you got your Serenas and your Venuses. They got your discipline in your mindset that makes them the best. All pro athletes got that same kind of thought in their head. It teaches you great discipline, period. Just about everything.
I couldn't agree more, Krista. I think that's awesome. Yes. And you learn as a kid when you're in these teams that you have to do things that you might not want to do because of the greater good. Like we have this cheerleading competition, and guess what? I don't want to show up at 5 a.m. practice every morning, but I'm going to. And maybe I don't like everyone on the team, but you learn to work with them.
Yes.
And those types of skills are throughout your life. Totally agree.
Absolutely. It's kind of like being in the military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little
No,
bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Teaches you.
let's go over my favorite part of the whole show. So we got to come up with a daily challenge. It's got to be something that takes less than 5 minutes a day, costs $0, and is available to anyone in the world, from Nepal to South Africa. What do you guys suggest to improve physical health using sports?
Do you want me to start?
Yes.
Okay. So whatever you can do, like if it's dancing around to music, do that for 5 minutes every single day. If it's like jump rope, do that for 5 minutes every day. If it's literally like jumping up to your ceiling, do that for 5 minutes. Like whatever it is, just like bounce around and do that for 5 minutes.
Fun. Yeah.
That's what I suggest.
Thoughts, Krista and Sam?
It's a great structure. I roll out of bed and do 5 minutes worth of workout before I ever get in the shower. And then my heart rate's up, my metabolism stays high. It's all good.
Cool. I like that. Krista, any thoughts?
And how I train most of my clients, whether they be professional or whatever the case may be, let's just say if you want to improve in your cardio, I'll put a person on 5 minutes on, say, the elliptical or whatever it may be, or walking 5 minutes, right? I improve them and help them get in condition with 1 minute every time they do it. So the next time they do it for 6 minutes. The next time they do it for 7 minutes. And before you know it, they've gotten up to the 40 minutes or whatever they want to do, but they do it in small increments. And I think you need to do that with anybody. Just start you out small and do it in small increments so it doesn't feel like such a job. Like if you put somebody on something and say, oh, you got to do an hour of that. Oh, I can't do that. But if you tell them 5 minutes, I could do 5 minutes. And then you say, okay, we'll add on another minute. A minute is no big deal. And they're like, oh, okay, I could do that too. So that's what I feel like is a key component there, is just start out very small, and little increments, little baby steps will get you to where you need to be. And you can do that.
1% improvement every day.
Yes, just a little bit. That's what I do with most of my clients.
All right, so let's do something like this. Let's start off. So tomorrow morning, I think we're all in the same time zone. Tomorrow morning, we start off with when you wake up, 1 minute of activity, and we add 1 minute every day for 7 days, so up to 7 minutes. I'm going to add to it, though. I'm going to say that you also spend like a minute researching a sport you've never learned or played. My first one's cricket. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to research cricket. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what the hell they're doing there. I'm going to go learn it. So I think we learn about new sports as well as getting our physical activity together. How do you guys feel about that?
That's awesome. I'm doing pickleball for the first time over the weekend. So
how did you like it?
Oh, I'm doing it this weekend.
All right.
Good luck.
So I don't know.
Okay. I think every day. I mean, can you guys do that? You just got to research a sport you've like heard of, but you never really learned. I also want to learn how ice skating is scored. I have no idea how they fucking score ice skating or ice dating or whatever the hell that is.
Whole bunch of spinny.
Right. I have something I'm supposed to be involved in. I've never done it before. It's some kind of race here in Atlanta. It's called some kind of mud race. Never done it before.
Mud run?
I love mud
Tough
runs.
mud
run. That was called. Yeah, I've never.
So fun.
Have y'all done it? I've never done it, and
do it.
She looked it up and she said, "Let's do that, Chris." I said, "Okay, what?" I just saw what they look like, and I was like, "Okay, let's try it." So it's like an obstacle course, right?
Yes.
Yeah. They're so fun.
Okay.
But you get dirty as hell too. You fall in mud puddles left and right.
Yeah, you'll throw your clothes away.
Real quick, Sam, we just had an audience, a viewer tell they want to learn some archery rules. I think they're trying to knock out their challenge for tomorrow. So you're going to have to tell a couple archery rules, and then we're going to wrap this up and move on.
So let's talk about scoring. So you've got ASA scoring and IBO scoring. So if you think of a 3D animal, so whether it's so if you think like a bear target, right? It's a real life-size bear, only in 3D foam. ASA and IBO are two different groups that judge scoring.
Okay.
So depending on the scoring rings and depending on the type of scoring structure, IBO or ASA, you may have different point systems for how those rings are scored. Center ring is usually scored at a 12. Next ring is scored at a 10. Next ring is scored as an 8. Anything outside of that 8 ring, anything inside of the foam or the animal itself, whether it's the ear or the knee, is scored at 5 points. So it really just gives you a chance to, anything inside foam is at least a point. If you miss the foam altogether, it's 0. But you want to go for those center ring shots and help build that higher score for the next competition point.
And just like that, half our daily challenge is complete. Woohoo!
Covered.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this show. Thank you so much. I'm going to put y'all backstage.
Thanks for having us.
You guys were awesome guests. What a great show it was. So much fun.
Thank you.
Well, that concludes another episode of Millionaires Are Made. I hope you all enjoyed something. We did physical health and sports. And I hope you noticed that one of the key themes was not, oh, go do a sport and be the best. It was more about, hey, do something you enjoy that you're going to love doing. Go back to your childhood. Go do powerlifting, then bobsledding, then go do archery. Whatever it is that you enjoy is the best way to improve your physical health of sports. Obviously, if you get good and you want to go be an Olympian or the first Black female bobsledder, I think is how that one's said, you can always achieve that. But if you're just looking to have some fun, get some physical health, and improve it little by little, join a kickball team, go find your nearest archery range, and just learn a little. Find social, find something you enjoy, and hopefully that'll help you improve your physical health of sports. Hope you all enjoyed it. Our daily challenge tomorrow morning when you wake up, do 1 minute of activity and search a sport you don't know. Learn about it. There's a lot of sports out there and people are learning new sports all the time. I will be looking up cricket because I still don't know what the hell cricket is or how it works, but you can choose whatever you want. And if you have any questions at all, comment on us, go follow, hang out.